we sanction. I bet. So today we're gonna share my screens, Gary. Maybe just make sure. I bet. So you should be able to see my chart. So we're gonna go over counter trends. Okay, so counter trends are spotted on the lower time frame. Are spotted on the lower time frames. Okay, so these are more, you'll see them more often if you're a person that looks at a higher time frame, such as month, week, or and possibly even days. All right, and you'll spot the counter trends on the 4 hour, 1 hour, 15, and so on. All right, so now we're gonna see what a counter trend looks like. Okay, so we're gonna just pick a random spot. Let's go at a random spot.
Now, when you say a counter trend, is that like a reversal?
So no. Okay, so I'm gonna show you exactly what I mean. All right, so I'm gonna put the bar replay. So right, if you've seen, if I'm gonna go back even one more. Right, so if this was right now, right, as we speak, let me delete this line real quick, just so you don't get confused with this. I bet. So if we were right here right now, right, we just got we have a little break of this little support right here. Move this down a little bit. Perfect. Okay, right. So we would be waiting for a retest, right? So let me fast forward just a little bit. Right, so if you missed your entry at this retest, all right, so let's just say you missed your entry at this retest and you're looking at the charts now. Okay, this is, obviously I'm on the month time frame. We don't want to wait, a whole month to, a whole couple months to, hop in a trade. That's so that's not efficient. It's not, it's not making us no money, just waiting. So like in the meantime, obviously we want to make some bread, right? So a counter trend, you'll find it on the lower time frame. So right now we're waiting for an entry. We're waiting for a retest of 82.300 level right here where my red line is. Right. So on the lower time frame, because right now this is 1,000 pips. Right, this is 1,000 pips. So you'll lower your time frame. Right, let me keep going, keep lowering it. I think that's as far as replay is gonna let me go. We'll stick with the day. Okay, so you have about 1,000 pips that you could capitalize off of, right? We missed our entry right here at the retest, right? So now we have, we have to get in on our second opportunity. So a counter trend is going to be hard to spot. I'm not going to hold you. It's going to be hard to spot. Okay, but I'm going to show you what it looks like. so that you know when you're in a trade and you see possible counter trend, so that you don't get confused, and because a counter trend is gonna confuse, it's gonna make new beginner traders feel like the trend is going one way, and then as soon as it retests, it's dropping. Okay, so right now, right, we have our nice little downtrend, making sequences of lower lows and lower highs, right? But we know on the monthly time frame, we were still waiting, for a nice little entry, a nice retest, coming back to this level of what was support that turned into resistance. Okay. So once you get your entry, right, you gotta find the entry. So let's see, our entry didn't present itself yet. Okay, so now we have our bullish engulfment and our hammer. Okay, so we have two reversal candles and a inverted hammer. Okay, so you have a couple reversal candles back to back. Okay, right here. Okay, so this is our entry, right? We entered in at the as soon as the candle closed in the bullish engulfment. Okay, so we entered and we know that for the month we were still waiting on our retest. Okay, so it's going to make a counter trend, because it can't just be one very long or even two very long candles to come and retest. It got to make some sort of trend to come back and retest, because you're not going to get candles like these, right? You're not going to get them all the time. These are pretty rare. The very long candles, pretty rare. This dropped, what was it? 1,000 pips in one day. Okay, you're not gonna get that too often. 1,400 pips in one day. You're not gonna get that too often. Okay, so it's not gonna just spike up to come retest. So it's got to make a little counter trend on the way up.
Even if it were to happen, people wouldn't even be like really prepared for that, would they? Like they would get stopped out at their take profit, like maybe 200 pips, 500 pips, maybe. Not even.
So for the counter trend, you can be ready for it. It's just a little difficult to catch. I'm not gonna hold you. It's pretty difficult to catch, because you never know when exactly that counter trend is gonna happen. You just know it's going to happen. Right. So on the monthly, we're waiting for our retest. Right. As you see on the daily, it's looking like it's starting to go. Right. We got our bullish engulfment.
Mm-hmm.
Enter. Now let's just see where it goes. Right. This was our monthly retest zone up here. Right. As you see, we're making sequences of higher highs, higher lows. It's looking like an uptrend. Right. This is where a lot of beginner traders were, they'll be prepared to buy it all the way up here, not knowing that this is just a counter trend coming back to retest on the monthly. Right. So let's see what happens after the retest. All right, we get up here, and now look what happens. Right, it drops. I'm gonna speed this up a little bit. Right, gets up here for the retest and then drops. Continues the downtrend. Okay, now let's look at the monthly. Right, on the monthly, we got our retest that we was waiting for. Right, on the 4-hour, the lower time frame, you will see the counter trend. So we're gonna do a couple of examples so you can see it. But this is mostly for swing traders. Your counter trends, mostly swing traders are going to be able to spot this, because swing traders are looking at the higher time frames, like the month and the week and the day. Intraday traders, so day traders, they're mainly looking at the day, the 4-hour. This is why we tell you guys to look at the higher time frame. What was that?
I said so me. Like every intraday, like I don't know. Okay. I just be doing my thing. Honestly, I'm just resetting it up the way I know. The
Yeah.
knowledge that you taught me, you know what I'm saying? Everything that you just told me.
So yeah, start looking at the monthly, so you can see where the monthly retests are, so you don't ever get into this kind of situation.
Well, you can capitalize on stuff like that though. Couldn't you? Like, couldn't you still
Yep, for
like
sure.
even like you know
So
that
just
it's
just
going
knowing
up?
that yep, like it's a for sure. You're getting a retest 80% of the time. I'll take my chances. 80%. I'll take my chances. Right? It'll be you know, it's weird, it's awkward, it's odd if you don't get a retest. So we know we'll be waiting for a retest. So you get this little uptrend to the retest. You're looking at the monthly time frame. So 1,300 pips. I don't know about you, but 1,300 pips in my pocket sound beautiful, right? But just knowing that it's there is gonna save you. And then you already know, right? You capitalize off of the counter trend, and now you're gonna capitalize off of the actual trend. Another 1,000 pips. A thousand. You ride it 1,000 pips going up on that counter trend, and then 1,000 pips coming down. So it's a knowing about counter trend, knowing how to spot them, there is gonna help you a lot because you're gonna be able to capitalize off of a huge amount of pips in a short amount of time, just because it's coming. Okay, so we're gonna do a couple more examples. I'm gonna pick a different pair, just cause. Okay, let's delete this. Okay, so again on the monthly time frame, let me just go back in time. Okay, so let's go back to here. Okay, so if we were here in this point of time in the market, right? We just broke this little uptrend that was forming, right? Where would you wait for a retest, right? You would be expecting a retest, but from of where? I'm gonna put a couple numbers on the screen, and you tell me which number. Okay, so let me see. Oops, 4. Okay, so what number, right? If you were looking at this, right, like this was today, right now, where would you be waiting for the retest of? What number? What area?
Most likely 4.
Yes, sir. Right. So we're gonna put a horizontal line, and we're gonna wait for a retest. So right now, from where it's at, this is 200, 2,500 pips. Like I don't know about you. I don't want to just sit there and watch the market go up to 2,500 pips. I want to be in there. I want to capitalize.
Yeah.
So we know, right? We're not gonna wait for the monthly. We're not gonna wait for the monthly to retest for us to enter the trade. We want to be able to capitalize. So we know a counter trend is going to form on the lower time frame, right? So from there, we start lowering the time frame. The day time frame is pretty useful. It's pretty good. 4 hour. I wouldn't go. I wouldn't really go to the hour if you're looking at a counter trend on the monthly. Okay, so it all depends on the time frame you're looking at. So for the
Yeah.
month, like if we're waiting on a retest of the monthly, I'd go to the day or 4 hour. Okay, as long as you find your entry. Okay, so now let's try to spot our entry. me slow this down a little bit. So we know we're waiting for our monthly retest. Matter of fact, I'm gonna write it down so that, okay, monthly retest. Okay, so we know we're waiting for a monthly retest. We're just trying to find an entry into in the counter trend. So now let's see where we can possibly get in. Okay, we see that it's failing to make, whoops, let me pause that right there. We see that it's failing to make a lower low, right? It came back down to this lower low and shot up. So we can, right, if this was live, I would wait for the break of the lower high, retest, and then you can get in.
So you wouldn't even touch it. You wouldn't touch it till it broke that.
Yep, because it still holds bearish integrity until the higher low is broken and retested. So right now, as we speak, this is, the bears still hold control of the market because the higher hasn't been broken and retested yet. Okay, but we know a counter trend is coming, so we know that our entry is going to be at the break and retest of the higher low. All right, so now it's just a waiting game. Now you get the break and the retest. Right, I'm gonna pause it right here. You get the break, right? Immediately after you get the retest, boom, you can enter here. Okay, so now we're entered into the trade. Our stop loss is placed at the previous high low, which you could either put it right here or right here.
Yep.
Okay. Stop loss is placed at the higher low, and our take profit is going to be the monthly retest. Okay, so our take profit is going to be the monthly retest, which is from where we at. It's 2,194 pips. That sounds great to me. I'll take 2,000 pips any day.
So you don't put your take profit anywhere like near your entry.
So because this is a counter trend, I know that it has to come back and retest, right? Because as you see here, we did not get a retest at all, right? It broke this major level of support, right? Broke this major level of support, and we didn't get a retest. Okay, so that's telling me that, all right, there's going to be a counter trend coming back up for a retest. Okay, but you see, this was my first stop loss right here. Just to be on the safe side, because this could come down as you see it did. Okay, so this one was it was less pips if it hit, but this was a safer stop loss. Okay, so always go with the safer stop loss.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, boom. Okay, now we see, right, we got another break, another retest. So I gave you a second entry. All right, give you a second chance if you did get stopped out, if you put your stop loss over here. Okay, and now it's taking off, coming back to the monthly retest. Boom.
So yeah, you're always aiming for no more. I mean, no, like less than 500 pips. Or how many does it depend? Or
so the pips, I'm not really aiming for, like on a counter trend, I'm not really aiming for anything specific. It's whatever it gives me. It's whatever the market gives me.
yeah.
Just note that the higher time frame is going to give you, if you're waiting on the retest of a higher time frame, it's going to give you more pips. This is why I tell you to look at the higher time frames, because it's going to give you more money.
Yep.
So like if I'm gonna show you a couple on the weekly and show you the pip difference, because this is the monthly. We're looking at 2,000 plus pips right here. So right, boom, came up for the monthly retest, tap, now continuing the downtrend.
Damn.
Right, so some easy pips. Once you get up to the monthly retest, you know, boom, you know where it's going. It's going down. So you're capitalizing off of the counter trend, and then you're entering right when it hits your monthly retest. You already know what's up. You already know where it's going. You've been tracking it and tracing it this whole time. You already know where it's going.
Now when all right, so the market
So
closes
then you can
at
boom
at
catch right. You would have cut.
my bad. The market closes.
Yep, market
Hold
closes at 5 p.m. Yep.
and monthly. When does that close? Like when does the candles for the month close? Like as
So
soon as like day one.
yep. So on the first day of the month, the candle will close.
So as soon as the clock hits 12:01, that candle's closing.
Yep.
All right, word.
So I'm gonna show you in a month. So if we go to the month, if you look at the bottom of my screen, right?
Ah, okay, yeah.
Okay. So you see November 3rd, December 1st, January 1st, February 2nd. So the months that have what's it, 30 days, it'll, it'll close on the second of the next month. And then the month that has 31 days, it'll close on the first of the next month. So you'll see a bunch of firsts and seconds. And then August is always on the third. It's weird. But it's mainly closes on the first.
All right, word.
Okay, so let's go back to the day. So boom, right? Once you capitalize off of this buy right here, you're capitalizing couple hundred, couple thousand pips, and then you're catching that right coming right back down. So we lit. Like you know where the trades are going. So always look at the higher time frames. Even if you don't want to trade a monthly trade, just look at it so you know if there's any monthly retest coming anywhere, so that it doesn't catch you by surprise. And then because if you were if we was in this situation and we didn't look at any monthly time frames and we just seen this, we would have thought it was on an uptrend, right? You would have thought so too, right?
Yeah.
Right. If we didn't look at the monthly time frame, we would have thought this was going on an uptrend. I would have been looking to take this all the way up here, right? And then that's when we lose money pretty much. It's because we got to look at every time frame, so it gives you each perspective of the market. All right, once you know all the perspectives of the market, it's kind of hard to lose because you know what's happening, you know what it's doing.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm gonna do one more example. We'll go to GJ. Let me delete this real quick.
Honestly, I meant to ask you your pair. When do you really be watching your pair?
So for AJ, I'll be watching it during the Asian session overlaps. So that's from 7 p.m. until 1 p.m.
And when does it like move?
So from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. I mean, yeah, to 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. is really when it makes its biggest move. London sometimes it moves at a good rate. Sometimes,
Yeah.
but not every time in London. It's more consistent on on the Asian sessions. Okay, so we're gonna go on GJ, try to see if we can. So we're gonna go back in time. Um, Okay, perfect. We got one right here. Let's go back. Replay. Okay, so if we were looking at this, right, as we speak, right, we have a higher highs being created. We know we're on an uptrend,
Yeah.
right? And we see that we got a break, but we never got a retest, right? So boom, now you know, perfect. I'm gonna look for a counter trend coming to the downside, right? So now, you know, you hop on the day, hop on your daytime frame, 4 hours, whatever it is that you want to find your entry on. Right now, let's see what happens. Let's wait for an entry. Whoops, that shit went too quick. This would have been a little hard to catch because of the gap. Would have been hard to catch because of the gap, unless you got brave and just sold it up here. All right, but this would have been a little hard to catch. So I'm gonna go to another example because I really didn't give you a chance to enter.
Yeah, I was peeping that. I was like,
Yeah,
that gap was pretty hefty.
that gap was something else. Yeah, a bunch of ranging consolidation with that. Um, this should do on here. Oh, I'm on the daytime, but that's why. My fault. Let me get on the month. So it doesn't look like DJ had much of a counter trend. Yeah, since 1994. Goddamn, it's been pretty steady since. Someone's just picking up. Pick AJ. Let's look at AJ. Perfect. So the last counter trend was really can't really find one for. All right, there we go. Right here. All right, so if we were looking at AUDJPY, right, as if this was today, we would see that it hit a clear line of support. Okay, hit a clear. Oops, my fault. Hit a clear line of support right here, right, and we're waiting for a retest of our 88.700 level. Okay, so again, lower time frames. Try to find an entry. You know, we're looking at from where we at, looking at 1,000 pips. Okay, so now we just got to find the entry. Right, if you miss this entry at the support, then let's right. We'll just find another entry. Let me see if the replay will let me go to the 4 hour. Perfect. Okay, now let's try to find an entry on the 4 hour. I rewind a little too forward, but you have a hammer right here plus a bullish engulfment. So around here is where you would enter. place right here. Stop loss at the bottom of the high low. Okay, so we enter right here. Okay, our take profit is at that monthly retest, which is up here. My fault, up here, not over here. Okay, what's this red line? I think, oh, this was me earlier. Whoops, my fault. So hit off our support, major support, and we're waiting for our retest. So now we're just trying to find a counter trend coming back up. We see we get a bullish hammer plus a bullish engulfment. Okay, giving us our entry. Stop loss placed at the bottom of the structure. And now it's just a waiting game, to be honest with you. Let's just let it do its thing. Okay, this is why counter trends are hard to spot, are hard to catch, because you have, you know what I'm saying, you'll have times where it'll go all the way to your stop loss and then shoot back up. Right, so this is why counter trends, you're gonna take a couple L's before you might take a couple L's before you catch your W, but your W is gonna wash out your L. Yeah, we took this loss. What was it? Okay, 160 pips, right? But that's just way too big of a stop loss. I would never put a stop loss that big, anyways. But just for the sake of the training, right? And then so we had 160 pip loss, and your take profit is 1,400, pretty much, right? That's gonna wipe out your loss. Like, not even, shouldn't even be worried about it. Okay, the win is gonna wipe out your losses. Your loss won't even matter at that point. Okay, so we get a second possible entry. We got a bullish engulfment here again, so we could, right? Okay, enter there. Stop loss placed at the bottom of structure again. So we're looking at another 120 pip stop. Now let's see if this entry works. Right, now we sanction. Okay, now we valid. Okay, now you already know where it's going. The monthly retest all the way up here. So we took that little, 160 pip loss. Cool, right? We got right back in. Now we're already up 500 plus pips. So your loss already does not mean nothing. That loss you already took already flew out your head, flew out your mind. You don't care about it no more. You're up 500 pips. You made your money back, then some, right? And it's not done. I'm gonna fast forward this. Right, you're up big already. You're not really worried. Now we're just waiting for it to hit the monthly retest. This is the 4-hour candle, so there's a bunch more candles. So it's gonna take a little longer. Okay, so remember we entered here, our stop loss is placed here. And you know what I'm saying? Taking off.
Yeah. Yeah.
taking off, going to the monthly retest. Let's forward this.
You want to do present day? Like you think you could see one during present day right now? Like if one's happening?
I can check. Let me see. Um, oh, this is the 4 hour. Hop in a month. Let's check it out. So let's see if any is happening as we speak. There's gonna be counter trends on GU. So once it makes either once it gets to this lower high point right here, you could see a counter trend coming back to retest this level of support down here. So once this hits, the higher high, the lower high, my fault, of the month, on the lower time frame, you will start to see counter trend form, come back and retest this area right here. Because it's probably, I can't see one that's happening as we speak. But wait.
Yeah. What do you think about euro? Cause I'm over here looking at it.
So if you scroll out on the month and look to your left, you do have a major level of support right here.
Mm-hmm.
Right, you have a major level of support right here, held up as resistance at this area. So right now, I wouldn't necessarily, I wouldn't be looking to go long on Euro USD until this lower high is broken and retested. Okay, so until this lower high is broken and retested, I wouldn't be buying it. But it's looking like a counter trend is starting to form to come retest, or this is dropping. It's either one or the two. But we'll see when it gets down here. So let's see. I'm gonna put a little line. Retest. I mainly like the day time frame, to be honest with you. I don't really like going on that. So we have a little counter trend coming back to retest. That was about 300 pips. Okay, nothing too bad. So I can see Euro USD coming back to retest this high point, and then possibly continuing this uptrend, possibly. But just keep in mind that it is at a monthly resistance. All right, so this could, or it could create a higher high and then continue this uptrend. Okay, because this lower made a lower high right here. So now we're just waiting for it to complete this uptrend and do one of the two things. So it's either doing this or yeah. So it's either continuing this uptrend or it's going to retest, then continue, or retest, get to the top, and then drop. So right now it's at an awkward spot. I wouldn't really enter. I wouldn't be looking to enter this trade for a long-term trade. I would look at Euro USDs as short-term trades if you can get in on a lower time frame. Because yeah, on the monthly, it's not looking too good. This could drop big, or this can come up. Right, but as we keep up with news, right. So by February, March, we should know what Euro USD is doing for the year. So it's either going to do one of the two. Now it's just a waiting game. But yeah, I can't find any counter trends in that's happening as we speak. I'm look a couple more pages just in case. Um, nope. Nope. Bunch of ranging. Nope. So now I can't seem to find one. Let me just look at. So yeah, I can't find one that's happening in present day. But I'm gonna end the live stream real quick, and then
Do
we
you
can
think,
stay
bro?
on the Zoom and try to find one. That concludes today's training for counter trends. You can contact me on Instagram. I'm gonna put my Instagram on the screen for anybody that is not a part of the community and wants to know what we're about, what we can do for you. It's my Instagram. You can contact me on there. I answer all my DMs. So you can contact me on there and we can talk about it. All right. Or you can download the app on the Apple Store and Google, okay, at RHMade. Okay, so
All
until next
right.
time, stay humble, stay blessed. I'm out.
Let me know, bro.
Let me just end this real quick.